All right, good evening, 7th graders. Today we are going to work with a grammar lesson called Misplaced Modifiers. And so you need to go ahead and open up your book to page 229 and get out some pens and a pencil. And we're going to go over this together. Here we go. Okay, to begin with, let's go ahead and look at the rule 17J and underline it. A misplaced modifier is a phrase or a clause that sounds awkward because it modifies the wrong word or group of words. And so it needs to be replaced or actually transferred to another part of the sentence. That typically fixes the problem. So let's look at some examples now. Right below that definition, you'll read modifying phrases should be placed as near as possible to the word or words they modify. So let's look at this first misplaced example. The picture was taken at the August Moon Festival of the little girl in a yellow costume. Now the phrase of the little girl in a yellow costume is not modifying festival. It's actually modifying picture, so we need to rearrange the sentence to the corrected version. The picture of the little girl in a yellow costume was taken at the August Moon Festival. Okay, let's read further. Adjective clauses and adverb clauses should be placed so that they are clearly linked to the words they modify. The first example is misplaced. Before you leave, comma, get the atlas from the table that you need most. Okay, and so let's look at the corrected version. Before you leave, get the atlas that you need from the table. In the misplaced sentence, that you need is describing the table and not the atlas. And so you can see that just by rearranging the misplaced modifier, you can make the sentence sound more correct and accurate. Now we're going to look at the exercise, and the actual exercise 6 reads, revising sentences by correcting misplaced modifiers. Underline these directions. Underline the misplaced modifier in each of the following sentences. Indicate where the modifier should appear in this sentence by inserting a caret. Okay? And I think actually this is going to fit on the page. And so I don't think you do need a sheet of paper to write the modified sentence upon. So let's just actually write it in the book instead. And what I want you to do right now is to follow those directions, and I want you to do numbers 1 through 25 on pages 229 and 230. And then after you finish correcting those by putting the caret mark where the underlined phrase should belong, I want you to look at the answer sheets that I'm going to provide at the end here and check your answers. I know that last week we had a little bit of trouble with the dangling modifiers, so having the answer key at the end, it'll kind of give you a better idea if you're understanding misplaced modifiers, and you could always ask me questions the next day. So right now, go ahead and pause this video and try to do number 1 through 25. And then I'll ask you to turn it back on in just a moment. Okay, now that you've done the 25 sentences, I'd like for you to check the answers by looking at the next 3. You may have to pause intermittently, but look at these answer screens as they go by and make sure you know what's going on. If you do not, just ask me tomorrow, but I do want to see that you did try to do this, and I do need you to bring this book to class tomorrow because you will be turning it in to me or to Miss Naylor, and we'll check your work. So thank you so much for working hard tonight, and hopefully you're becoming a better writer. As I've mentioned in class, dangling and misplaced modifiers often are placed on the PSAT test. And so if you know how to find these mistakes, you are guaranteed to have a much better writing grade on the PSAT. And so that's our ultimate goal, is to get you ready for that exam your junior year. So good night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.